Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I would just call the show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Wednesday, today is Wednesday, May the 30th. No, May the 29th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I missed you. Listen, yesterday I had a problem. I left my microphone in my car, and my wife dropped my car off near. My wife dropped my car off to go get some tires looked at or whatever, and I left the microphone and I could not record. I was very annoyed, very upset. But here we are today. We are recording, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to discuss with you something very important. Today, I just want to discuss with you the mental aspect of the game, the mental aspect of making excuses and why you should not make excuses, because there are no excuses. Listen, until the good Lord calls you home, you have no excuses. It doesn't matter if you're 20, does not matter if you're 15, it doesn't matter if you're 40, 60, 70, 50, does not matter the age. If you figure out, hey, I want to get started on XYZ. Let's say if you want to read 100 books. You want to read 100 books. I'm 70 years old and I want to read 100 books. I can read 100 books. Listen, how do you start reading 100 books? You got to start with book number 1. It does not work if you don't start reading book number 1. That's how that works. Now, what you must do is just start doing it. Don't drop the excuses. Me and my daughter, we went to the family reunion this year. We drove up from Atlanta, Georgia. We drove up the 450 miles up to Missouri, southeast part. We drove. My daughter had a lovely time. We survived the tornado. There was a lot going on. Tornado blew trees down around my brother's neighborhood. One fell into somebody's house, knocked down a couple cars, tore the roof off of Taco John. It was quite the morning, and I slept through some of the tornado. I woke up, I heard it raining, I heard the wind blowing a lot, but I didn't know what was going on. But we survived all that. We had to move our family reunion a few miles down the road because the building that we normally go to, they was using it for people with oxygen because the power went out. My parents, they still do not have power 3 days later. And yeah, so we had to move the family reunion. There were no excuses. We couldn't get the food that we normally get because the power was out, so we had to readjust. Somebody went up the road. They went up. They was graceful, and they went up the road, 50 miles up the road to get some chicken, and we still had a good time. It was a makeshift family reunion day, but we got it done. There were no excuses. There were no stories, but the people there was not quite a turnout, and there was not going to be the biggest turnout, no matter if there was no tornado or not. The turnout was not going to be big. And this year, a lot of people had a lot of excuses, a lot of BS excuses of why they couldn't come. Oh, it's too far. Oh, it's too much money. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. And it's just like, all right, who cares? At the end of the day, excuses are just a story for you to be in the loser category, okay? You do not want to end up there. Now, if there's something you say, hey, what's stopping you from doing X, Y, and Z? Let's say you want to do a YouTube channel. They have the phone, they have the camera, they have the iPad, they have all types of devices that you can use. You don't have to use the most expensive. You don't need a $1,500, this takes out the green, this takes out the eyes, blah, 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 blah. You do not need the most expensive camera to get started on a YouTube channel. You do not need the most expensive equipment to start a podcast. I started off doing my podcast with a $20 microphone plugged into the phone, talking to you in the back of an 18-wheeler. Now, you have no excuses. The people that did not come to the family reunion, they had a boatload of excuses. You do not want to be these people. Because at the end of the day, there's no real excuse. It's just like, hey, you want to come or you don't. You gonna show up or you're not. What are you going to do? Are you gonna step up? If there's things that you want to do, like I tell my wife, we've had these discussions since her mother passed. It's like, yes, it's sad. We miss our mother-in-law, but she's gone. There's nothing we can do about that. So now it's me, my wife, and my daughter. And it's like, okay, now's our time. There's no, oh, we know we can't go, because a lot of times we cannot go. We could not just leave, my mother-in-law because she was disabled. So we could not just up and leave. But now we don't have that excuse. My daughter, she's growing. She's gonna be 3. She's gonna be 4. And so on and so on. And she's growing, and she's gonna be more mature, more independent. So there will be more places, more things that we can do. And so the excuses, there's no excuses. There's no stories. So I told my wife, what we got to do is, of course, generate more money so we can do more things that me, my wife, and my daughter would like to do. And so that is what we're going to do. There's no story. There's no excuse. There's no, well, I got to do this. I got to do that. No, it's like, all right, if I want to write, I'm going to wake up early. If I want to do podcasts, I'm going to wake up early. Sometimes I might stay up a little later, to get the job done. And that's what we're going to do. There's no score. There's no story. There's no excuse. I want to create content. I want to write books. I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to make a lot of money. There's no excuses. There's no, man, if I only I would have went to college, or if I would have done this, I would have did this, did that. Nope, 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 nope. There's no story. There's no story that I can tell you to say, oh man, if only. No, no, no. There's no if only, So do not be some of the people in my family. Be like the people that came to the reunion. The tornado, the power went out. There was no excuses. There were no stories. It was like, hey, let's find a place. We found a place. Let's get some food. We still can have some games. We still can have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what we did. And so for you, I'm telling you this because I think it's very important, because a lot of times the main thing that's holding us back is not the information that you don't know. It's not the information that you know. A lot of times it's us that hold ourselves back from lack of confidence, lack of belief, lack of whatever, lack of accountability. You know, Sometimes we all be like, oh, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. Couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why can't you do that? You can do that, but it's like, why not do that? That's what you should. That's where you should be at. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a short podcast, but my wife is coming to pick me up, and we have to take our daughter to the park. And so I'm going to leave you with that. Don't wallow in excuses. Don't swim in excuses, ladies and gents. We will be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves, and we will be on track with the time. We will go back to the early mornings, but I had to recover my microphone. But ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed. That's no excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow with all the episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.